Alright, it's that time. All 10 tracks from Paramore's new record, This Is Why, ranked from worst to best. This was a very hard ranking for me because I do like a majority of this record. I do believe that the first two songs that we're going to talk about were probably the easiest for me to rank worst and second worst, but after that, the rest of the songs I am just absolutely in love with. So there could be very, very differing opinions, and this list could change later down the line, but as of right now, this is what it looks like. You know, part of me wonders why this track even made it on the album in the first place, because with all the other songs, at least they had some good traits about them and some choruses that really popped, but with C'est Comme Ça, it's repetitive and annoying, and I feel like that's something in a Paramore song that you don't necessarily want. It just, throughout its 2.5 minutes, repeats a line, C'est Comme Ça, and then does the na-na-na-nas, and Haley's kind of talk singing, although is, you know, not necessarily bad. It just kind of throws the whole idea of the song out the window. So here's one where I don't hate it. I feel like C'est Comme Ça is the only track off the new record that I hate. With Big Man Little Dignity, it's probably one of those ones where after following up C'est Comme Ça, it's better on the ears, but again, you kind of wanted the intensity to kind of stick to where the first 4 tracks were, because I believe with the first 4 tracks, you get like this big atmospheric kind of like dancey showing, and then when you get to Big Man Little Dignity, it's kind of almost just soft, and again, it's not bad, but I just feel like there's something missing to it, like the other tracks. By that I meant all the other tracks had some spunk to them, but this song in particular didn't necessarily have that. Liar is a nice song, and again, this is where we get to the rest of the album, which is basically songs that I like, but it's the most boring of the songs that I like. It has a nice melody going, but that's about it for it, and I think that's why it's ranked so low on this list for that reason. Prave is the second to last track on the record, and again, it kind of feels like a leftover track from the After Laughter era. It's kind of got that, you know, softer feeling to it, and I do like the, you know, chorus where Haley's voice does come in a little bit more, but for the most part, I felt that it wasn't as strong as the rest, and it was just kind of there, not necessarily filler, but again, I just felt like there was something missing that could have made it even better. Figure 8, I said in my original review, I think gets carried by the chorus, because the rest of the song is kind of just okay in general, but once that chorus kicks in, you're like, whoa, this is one of the couple of songs where you kind of feel old Paramore sort of kicking in, not necessarily their pop punk, you know, days, but like just the old rock days with the way the chorus just kind of, you know, hits you with that intensity. It's nice, and again, I think it's only ranked this high because of the chorus, but you know, sometimes that's just the savior of a song. This is why I don't leave the house. You say the coast is clear, but you won't catch me. Alright, now we're getting to the tracks that I do enjoy, and the title track, the first single we heard from this album, This Is Why, is at number 5. Did I call it underwhelming? Yes. Did I say I hated the track? No, it's a nice track, it's a good kickoff, but listening to the rest of the record, I found that there was other songs that I enjoyed more than this, and you will be seeing them coming up, but yeah, this song, it kind of, you know, starts off a little bit, you know, slow, but then of course that chorus is just great, and I just love the way it feels. It kind of feels like After Laughter if it was intended to be a rock album, if you get my drift. I even said that in my review too. It feels like if you just took the synths completely away from After Laughter and just threw the instruments in there, that's what you would get, and it was nicely well done and a good title track. You know, to be honest with you, Running Out of Time was one where I first heard it, I was like, yeah, I don't know, like, it was a good song, but the more and more I've heard it, and recently they played it live on Jimmy Kimmel, it's a whole lot of fun. I mean, I guess it's just a song that we all can relate to. Haley sings about, you know, how she tried to do this and that, but in the end she just ran out of time because that's just, you know, who she is. She just always seems to do stuff on her own time, and it always ends up being so inconvenient for everybody else, and that's something that I can definitely relate to, a lot of people can relate to. So it's not a song that has a deep meaning, but I like the way it kind of, the verses go through the intensity of being like, oh god, I'm running out of time, and then when you get to the chorus it's kind of like, you know, someone not necessarily going crazy or insane, but just coming to that realization like, oh man, damn, I would have done that, but I ran out of time. That's like everybody's big main excuse. And again, just a nice little song, not too deep of a meaning, that everyone can kind of get down with and understand.
Everyone is a bad guy, and there's no way to know.
You First has the most old-timey Paramore chorus on this record that I think you're going to get here. I mean, it all started with the whole Misery Business, you know, guitar riff that we all know, and You First kind of kept that same kind of wang that it had to it on the verses, and again, I think it's also just a nice song in general. It's a lot of what you want from Paramore, a song that I think can really feed the old fans and the new fans and come together and be like, you know, this song is actually a combination of them doing what they do now and them doing what they used to do very, very well. Plus, Haley's vocals on this, excellent.
Hit over the head.
You know, it's not often I have a closing track this high, but with Thick Skull, I mean, this has to be probably, I would say, the most unusual song on the record for the sheer fact that none of the other songs sound this eerie and whatnot. I mean, it just has that softness to it that then goes into this, like, big intensity to end the record. It's just basically, overall, very, very well put together, and I think the perfect track to close out this record. It just kind of, you know, makes you want to go back and listen to the record, and again, it's basically Haley talking about, you know, how she always ends up getting with these guys that always end up being bad for her and all this kind of stuff, saying she's got a thick skull and she can never really get it through her head and whatnot. And again, I like the song Running Out of Time. This is a song that I think a lot of people can relate to for a lot of reasons, and again, I think the eeriness of it just caps it all off.
Every second a collective heart breaks. All together, every single head shakes. Shut your eyes.
But yeah, that leaves The News at number 1, the second single from the record and the album's second track. I don't know what it is about it, but it's just, from the opening when Haley just comes right in, there's like no instrumental opening, it's just like boom, right there, and the chorus is catchy as hell. I really, really love the instrumentation, the verses just do their thing. It's definitely the best vocal performance from Haley on this record because she does so many different things within a matter of 3 minutes that you're just left going, wow, she has not lost a step, has she? It's the song on the record that I think I've gone to the most when revisiting it and just absolutely loving it. Like, at least with the song This Is Why, I knew I kind of had somewhat of a problem with it, more underwhelming, but when the second track came out, I said, see, where was this? This one could have been released as a first single, and I think we all would have been fine with that, but, you know, sometimes the first single is never the best single, it's always the singles that come after that. So for The News, it was the single that really, I guess, won me over with this record in general. So that is it for me ranking the new track listing from Paramore's new album, This Is Why, from worst to best, 10-1. I know I already asked on my community page, but I'd really like to hear in the comments below what your ranking would look like. What songs would you rank the worst all the way down to the best from tracks 1 through 10 on this record. But until then, stay safe out there, and I will catch you all in the next one.